June 8, 2021. Elmwood Botanical Estate, outside Portland, Oregon. Security footage shows a woman in white, Claire Whitmore, laughing with guests under strings of golden light. It's her wedding day. She's radiant. She's finally found happiness again. What no one knows is that, among the crowd of smiling faces, someone is already planning her death. At 6:42 p.m., a man in a dark jacket steps through the side gate. He doesn't belong there. His name is Evan Rhodes, Claire's ex-fiancé. He's carrying a Glock 19 in his coat pocket. Within 9 minutes, 21 people will be dead. Cut to sound of sirens. Aerial drone shot of flashing police lights and chaos. Police described it later as the most calculated act of revenge in Oregon's history. But this story doesn't begin here. It begins 2 years earlier, with a woman who believed she'd finally escaped the past. Claire Whitmore was 29. A trauma nurse at Providence Medical Center, brilliant, composed, and known for her calm under pressure. Her co-workers said she could stop a bleeding artery and still smile. That same calm had attracted Evan Rhodes. He was everything she thought she wanted: successful, charming, magnetic. A marketing executive who swept her off her feet. They met in October 2018 at a hospital fundraiser. By Christmas, they were inseparable. But within months, the cracks began to show. Evan needed to know where Claire was every hour of the day. He checked her phone, tracked her location, criticized her friends. And when she tried to pull away, he'd cry, talk about his rough childhood, make her feel guilty for wanting space. Then came the first shove. A fight over a coworker. He grabbed her wrist so hard she bruised. He apologized the next day with flowers and tears. Claire forgave him. Like so many victims do. Her mother, Ellen Whitmore, later told detectives. She said she was fine. Said Evan was just stressed. But her eyes, they told another story. By November 2019, Claire ended it. She packed a bag and left while Evan was at work. Her last message to him was a single line. "Please don't contact me again." He didn't reply. But he never stopped watching. A year later, Claire met Dr. Michael Trent, a quiet emergency physician who joined her hospital. He was gentle, patient, steady. Everything Evan wasn't. They dated slowly, movie nights, hikes, weekend trips to the coast. For the first time, Claire said she felt safe. But someone else wasn't ready to let go. Evan had been following her for months. Neighbors reported seeing his car parked across from her apartment. He'd created fake social accounts to monitor her life. And when she posted engagement photos with Michael, Evan snapped. Police would later find his handwritten note dated April 12, 2021. "She's pretending she's happy. She'll see what it feels like to lose everything." He began visiting gun ranges. Purchased multiple weapons under aliases. Even rented a storage unit stocked with ammo, fuel, and maps. By May, he'd found out about the wedding date, June 8, 2021. He drove to Elmwood Estate 3 times to study the exits. Evan wasn't impulsive anymore. He was calculating. Soft, tense music builds. 2 days before the wedding, Claire's mother noticed a black sedan near their home. She brushed it off as coincidence. It wasn't. 6:00 p.m., June 8, 2021. The sun was setting over Elmwood Estate. Guests clinked glasses. The jazz band started to play. Claire danced with her new husband, Michael, smiling wider than she had in years. At 6:42 p.m., Evan parked 2 blocks away and walked through the service entrance he knew would be unguarded. The gun was already loaded. He stood in the shadow of a magnolia tree, watching Claire laugh. For 7 minutes, he didn't move. Then, he drew his gun. At 6:49 p.m., the first shot hit Michael's groomsmen. The second tore through the catering tent. Guests screamed. Some froze. Some ran. Evan kept firing, methodically, walking toward Claire. Michael shielded her with his body. He was hit twice, one bullet piercing his chest. Claire fell to the ground beside him, blood staining her wedding dress. Police arrived 9 minutes later. Evan was still reloading when Officer Natalie Perez, an off-duty guest, returned fire. Her bullet struck him in the leg, forcing him down. He dropped the gun but smiled as they cuffed him. His words to police were chilling. "I told her forever." 21 dead. 19 wounded. The largest domestic homicide in Oregon's modern history. Evan Rhodes survived. During questioning, detectives found hundreds of pages of notes detailing every step of his plan, down to police response times. Prosecutor Daniel Hayes told the jury, "This wasn't rage. This was engineering." Evan sat motionless throughout the trial. When asked if he regretted it, he said, "I regret missing her." Claire testified through tears. Her words silenced the courtroom. He said if I ever left him, he'd make sure no one else could have me. And he kept his promise. The jury deliberated for just 4 hours. Verdict: guilty on all 21 counts of first-degree murder. Sentence: life without parole. Evan Rhodes will die behind bars at Snake River Correctional Institution. Claire never returned to nursing. She moved out of Oregon, changed her name, and now works as a domestic violence advocate. Each year, she speaks to young women about the red flags she missed. In 2023, she told an interviewer, "You can leave the house. You can block the number. But you can't always escape the obsession. That's why laws have to change." Oregon passed Claire's law the following year, mandating firearm surrender within 48 hours of any restraining order. The Elmwood Botanical Estate remains closed, its gates locked, gardens overgrown. But the memory of that June evening lingers. A reminder that love, when twisted by control, can become the deadliest weapon of all. If you or someone you know feels trapped in an abusive relationship, don't wait. Reach out. Call the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Because sometimes, silence is the most dangerous sound of all.